always a better choice. My one and only station.
DBS Radio. DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: the East Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches observe the 75th anniversary of Pathfinders with a march in Roseau later today. News from the region now. Cuba urges the United Nations to block U.S. military escalation in the region, and Estonia seeks NATO consultation after Russian jets violate airspace. Details of the morning news right after this.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. The East Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches observed the 75th anniversary of Pathfinders with a march in the streets of Roseau later today. The march begins at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Roseau and ends in Tarishpit from 3:30. The youth director of the Eastern Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches, comprising Dominica and Barbados, is Pastor Sean Shepherd.
See, Pathfinders are a worldwide youth organization of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They are dedicated to helping boys and girls ages 10 to 15 grow physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. Through camping, community service, honors, and leadership training, Pathfinders learn practical skills while deepening their faith in God. Alongside them are the adventurers, our younger children, and the master guides who serve as mentors and leaders. This year, we celebrate 75 years of pathfinding under the inspiring theme, Pathfinders on Purpose. It's a milestone honoring generations of young people and leaders who have marched, served, and witnessed for Christ under the Pathfinder banner. Here in Dominica, the excitement continues this afternoon with a colorful march through the streets of Roseau, leading to Tarishpit, where the day will climax in a grand open-air rally. Look out for the colors, the energy, the discipline, and the joy as master guides, pathfinders, and adventurers come together in one powerful display of faith and service. 75 years strong and still marching forward with Christ on purpose, with purpose for God's purpose. And don't forget to look out for us at the National Youth Rally on the 30th of October.
And that's the youth director of the Eastern Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches, Pastor Sean Shepherd. Other news this morning: Dominica observes National Days of Prayer today and tomorrow. Minister responsible for culture, Greta Roberts, has encouraged the Dominican public to take part in this weekend's National Days of Prayer.
As a government, we have decided during the independence celebration at the start of independence to begin the season with prayer. And this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, will be National Days of Prayer. We believe that as a people, as a nation, we have been blessed by the Almighty Father. Things are working out in our favor, and Dominicans on a whole should give glory and thanks and praise to the Almighty Father. And we are looking at taking 2 days, Saturday for Saturday worshippers and Sunday for those who worship on Sunday, which would be the majority of the Dominican populace, to come together to give thanks for the blessings that we have received as a nation and as a country. What we expect people to do is, well, people worship in different ways. Some may stay home and pray. Most people go to church. So we are asking that people dress, for those who are going out, to dress in their national wear and come out, or anything Creole.
And that's the Minister for Culture, Greta Roberts. Minister responsible for education, Octavia Alfred, has told 400 certificate recipients of the adult education program that they should celebrate their achievement. The Adult Education Division staged its certificate giving ceremony at Goodwill Parish Hall Friday afternoon.
As I address you this afternoon, as we celebrate the accomplishment of our 400 graduates under the Adult Education Division of the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training, and National Excellence. Today marks a defining moment, not only in your personal journey, but also in the broader story of our nation's progress. We are here not merely to celebrate the completion of a program, but to acknowledge the perseverance, discipline, and determination that have brought you here. This graduation is especially meaningful because it's not just about academic achievement or what you will learn. It's about empowerment and resilience, transformation, dedication, and vision. As adult learners, you chose to invest in your education at a time when many would have been contented to remain within their familiar grounds. Their free time is to watch Netflix and movies and, just do things, man, to chill your head. But you have chosen another path. And it was not easy for many of you because you had to balance family, work, and other responsibilities and obligation. Your decision to pursue further training demonstrates courage, commitment, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in the value of education.
And that's the Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred. Carol Charles White is head of the Adult Education Division.
Today is a day of celebration, not only for our graduates, but for families, facilitators, and communities who stood alongside them on their journey. We come together under the theme, Empower, Evolve, Excel, Lifelong Learning for a Changing World. And indeed, this theme captures the heart of what we are witnessing today. We speak of empowerment. We celebrate the courage of each graduate who decided to step forward and claim the gift of education, whether through literacy classes, vocational training in plumbing and sewing, or catering or academic preparation for CXC. Each of you have chosen to invest in yourselves, and that is true empowerment. When we speak of evolution, we acknowledge how education changes us from within. We have seen learners walk into classrooms, shy and uncertain, and walk out confident, skilled, and ready for new opportunities. Education reshapes not just minds, but entire lives. And in doing so, it strengthens families and communities.
And that's the head of the Adult Education Division, Carol Charles White. 11 fishing vessels valued at close to $500,000 have been handed over to fisherfolk in Soufriere. The vessels were procured under the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project through the Ministry of Blue and Green Economy, Agriculture and National Food Security. Minister responsible for Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, who represented Prime Minister Skerrit at yesterday's ceremony, said the initiative is a testament of government's commitment to revitalize Dominica's fishery sector.
We are here to present 11 brand new fishing vessels, representing a total investment of $475,000. Each vessel valued between $35,500 and $75,000 is a symbol of resilience and opportunity, signaling our intent since the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017 to restore our affected fishers and farmers to even greater success in their trade. The handover forms part of a wider program to revitalize the fishing sector. To date, 33 vessels have already been constructed out of the targeted 51, and 21 are already in the hands of beneficiaries across the island. These vessels are being built locally under a $1 million contract, engaging 5 Dominican contractors, which means that while we restore livelihoods for fishers, we are also creating work for builders, suppliers, and other tradesmen.
And that's the Minister responsible for Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, Denise Charles Pemberton, said the presentation was a fulfillment of a promise made 8 years ago.
And I want us to reflect on that time, because often people forget what it was like after hurricane. And sometimes we fail to appreciate the progress Dominica has made, given that everywhere, especially on the Soufriere Bayfront, we were in shambles. It was like a riverbank right here on the Soufriere Bayfront. Out of our rumbles, our Prime Minister made this visionary statement that apart from rebuilding the country, one of the key focus of the restoration of our island, who many thought would take 25 years to recover, was to restore livelihoods. And that is why we are here this afternoon. A fulfillment of that promise made to you 8 years ago. And I know some of you say, boy, Palrep, 8 years has been a long time in waiting. And it is true, because once you're recovering from Maria, then it came COVID. We slowed down our progress again. And those who opted to get boats had to wait a little longer. But despite your wait, today I know that all of you are excited to receive your brand new boat this afternoon.
And that's the Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, Denise Charles Pemberton. And the 2025 JCI Dominica Kiddies Carnival has been launched. The event is set for Sunday, February 15, 2026 from noon. Jody Cognet is chair of Kiddies Carnival 2026.
So today we had the official launching of Kiddies Carnival 2026. We included the children, we launched our theme, our prices, and we just had a good time. For one of our major sponsors is the OACS Pearl and Goodo Primaries and OACS School, as well as we wanted to include the children. Kiddies Carnival is all about the children, and what better way to launch something about children than with the children. Okay, so Kiddies Carnival 2026 is on the 15th of February 2026. We will begin with a parade on the Dem Eugenia Charles Boulevard, that's Bayfront. The parade price costs $35 for children and $50 for adults. After that, we will go to the stadium so we can have additional fun. The entrance fee is $10 for children and $15 for adults. We'll have bouncing castles, we'll have entertainment. It's going to be an amazing day for the children. So the reason for our early launching is that parents have the time to get the costumes for the children. If the children want to be a butterfly, if they want to be a wolf, if they want to be a tiger, the parents have time to get the costumes for the children. So the parade starts at 12 p.m. After the parade, Windsor Park Sports Stadium starts at 3 p.m.
And that's chair of Kiddies Carnival 2026, Jody Cognet. A rather early launch of Kiddies Carnival 2026. Well, Cuba's Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez has asked the United Nations to stop the U.S. from sparking a war in the Caribbean. He spoke in Havana, Cuba, as tensions rise due to a U.S. military buildup aimed at drugs cartel. Rodriguez urged the United Nations General Assembly and Security Council to uphold the UN Charter and protect peace in the Caribbean. He dismissed Washington's anti-drug mission as a crude and ridiculous pretext for aggression, saying the U.S. itself is the main hub for laundering money from drug trafficking. Finally, this morning, Estonia has requested a consultation with other NATO members after Russian warplanes violated its airspace on Friday. 3 Russian fighter jets entered the Estonian skies without permission and remained there for a total of 12 minutes over the Gulf of Finland. Russia denied violating Estonian airspace, but tensions have been escalating recently after Poland and Romania, both NATO members, they've said Russian drones breached their airspace. It is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. That's a look at the DBS Morning News. Let's bring you the headlines again. The East Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches observe the 75th anniversary of Pathfinders with a march in Roseau later today. Cuba urges the UN to block U.S. military escalation in the Caribbean, and Estonia seeks NATO consultation after Russian jets violate their airspace. The news, you heard the news. The sports report comes up shortly.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from NBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with cricket news. We will have a new champion in the Republic Bank CPL. As defending champions, the St. Lucia Kings got bounced from the tournament, losing to the Trinbago Knight Riders in the second qualifier last night. The Trinbago Knight Riders took the first knock. They made 194 for 4 in their 20 overs. Alex Hales hit 58 not out, Nicholas Puran 50 from 32 balls, and Pollard 39, Andre Russell a quick fire 28 of only 12 balls. Carrie Pierre picked up 1 for 24. Ruston chased 1 for 16. The St. Lucia Kings chasing 195 for a spot in the finals started well before they lost the plot. They were 59 without loss before stumbling and eventually posting 138 for 8 in their 20 overs. Team Seifert made 57, Team David 28, Osman Tariq got 4 for 35, Sunil Narayan picked up 3 for 18. The Knight Riders won by 56 runs. The Knight Riders will meet the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the finals tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And in more cricket news, the KFC Summits will battle Reuben Bakery Christians as the Central Cooperative Credit Union Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate League continues this morning. That match is set for the Botanic Gardens. The other match today will see the Starlights playing Jungle Bay Hurricanes at the Geneva playing field. There is also cricket action with 2 matches on today as the Kalinago Premier League continues this morning. Concord Super Kings will battle Cincy Central Centipede at 10 o'clock, and the BA Grinders will play the Lucati Bombers at 2 o'clock. Both games will take place at the Jolly Johns Park in the Kalinago territory. Some volleyball news now. Dominica suffered a heartbreaking defeat to rival St. Lucia as the men's ECVA Final Four volleyball tournament got underway in Antigua last night. Dominica went down in a 5-set thriller. Dominica took the first set 25-17 before St. Lucia took the next 2 sets, 25-17 and 25-21. Dominica bounced back to take the fourth set, 25-19. But in the fifth and deciding set, Dominica went down 16-14. Dominica lost by 3 games to 2. Well, Dominica will play Antigua at 11 this morning and then return to the courts to face Grenada at 7 o'clock this evening. Basketball action also continues tonight with the BAA Sharks taking on the Dr. Daru Pishley Sports Club Falcons as the DABA Premier League continues at the Massac Indoor Facility. That game is set for 7 o'clock. And at 9, it's the Peebush Eagles taking on defending champions Detroit Blazers at 9 o'clock. The national athlete Trennis Hamilton put up a good effort in her first major international senior tournament, but came short of qualifying for the finals of the women's shot put at the World Athletics Championships in Japan last night. Hamilton tossed 17.68 meters on her first attempt last night. It was, however, short of the mark to land into the finals. She finished 19th overall, missing out on the top 12. Her efforts overall were still impressive as she finished 19th out of the 35 competitors. Trennis Hamilton not going to the finals at the World Athletics Championships in Japan. Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George, has commended national athlete Thea Laffer-Gatson on her latest achievements, saying that she continues to make the country proud. Thea Laffer-Gatson on Thursday earned a silver medal in the women's triple jump at the World Athletics Championships.
On behalf of the ministry responsible for sport and the government of Dominica by extension, I would like to extend our heartfelt congratulations to our national champion, Thea Laffer-Gatson, on her outstanding achievement at the 2025 World Athletics Championship in Japan. We all recognize and celebrate this tremendous accomplishment by Thea Laffer. Her performance has once again lifted the Dominican flag to the world stage and filled our nation with immense joy and pride. Through her dedication, perseverance, and talent, she has proven that Dominica can compete with the best on the global stage, and we are all extremely delighted for this. This silver medal is yet another victory, a national victory, which will once again serve as inspiration to our young athletes. And importantly, it serves as a reminder of what is possible through hard work, discipline, and faith. So again, we salute this remarkable accomplishment by Thea and again reaffirm our commitment and support to her as she continues to represent our country with distinction globally.
And that's the Minister of State with responsibility for sports, Senator Oscar George. President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, is hoping that the sport can maximize the spotlight being gained from the successes of Thea Laffer-Gatson. Williams says Thea's achievements will open doors for other athletes. He's hoping more people can come on board to support athletics in the country.
His achievements, what it creates is visibility for the Dominican Athletics Association and its member affiliates. So what we want to do, is more sponsorship for our programs so we can have the next athletes coming LA 28 and for 32, Olympics 32 and the many other world championships we have coming up. But we need that funding, we need that assistance, that partnerships by various entities in Dominica so we can achieve those goals, because we do not want it to be a one-off. But what's next? That is our future goals, because we have so many athletes coming up. I can name a few, for example, the Denick Luke, Trennis Hamilton, Addison James, Carell, 18. And these athletes need the support, and even those unknown athletes that have not started training as yet, but they see fear as a motivation, they see Denic as a motivation. How do we support them? We cannot achieve it on our own, and we need the support from many stakeholders. And I mean, the Olympic Committee is playing its part, and I'll always commend Mr. Billy Doctor for his work, and also the government of Dominica through the Prime Minister, and also the Ministers of Sport. But we need the help, all the help we need to ensure that we always have athletes out there participating at the best and representing Dominica on the global scene.
And that's the president of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams. Let's go back to some cricket news. The West Indies head coach Darren Sammy has defended the selection of Tajnuddin Chanderpaul for the upcoming Test series with India. The Guyanese opening batsman was a surprising recall to the Test side, replacing the out-of-form Craig Brathwaite. Sammy says Chanderpaul had a decent first-class season, and what he was able to do, it was with the selectors. He was the best choice among the potential candidates to open the batting for the West Indies team.
I mean, before Tage got injured in the 4-day championships, he was averaging, I think, 47, batting well. And, you know, just looking at our depth chart, who we have with the opening spot over the last few series, you know, not really giving us the numbers and the results that we want. When we look at the role needed for one of these openers, you know, Tage brings that sort of clarity of thought that we're looking at in terms of the skill set and what that role requires. And his experience, the ability to play spin, you know, he was probably right up there as one of the better contenders for that role. So, young man, you speak about transitioning. Yeah, he made a very strong case for the opening spot.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy, he says he expects a tough series with India.
India, we all know is going to be a challenge. It's a place that I think since 1983 we've not won a series there, and I think that in itself speaks volumes. What we trying to achieve when we go down to India. However, I'm so glad that Jamal and the talent ID and Miles is there, and probably the way we go about selecting squads. And something I've spoken about often is identifying the roles that we feel that could be executed first, that will allow us to be successful, and then we put the personnel and the skill set to match the role that is required. And that's how we came about the squad for India. And I'm really looking forward. They got some guys returning based on the skill sets. They got some guys who have missed out, but all in all, I think we've put in a really good squad based on the roles and skill set that will be required for India.
The West Indies head coach, Darren Sammy. That too is a look at the DBS major morning news and sports. We bring you another major package at 1:15. Let's remind you, Connecting the Dots is on this morning. That program from just around 9 o'clock. Ivona John Baptist Luge and Nigel Francis. And I'm told that Derek Ra Peters, the pioneer, one of the pioneers of the bouillon music in Dominica, he will be a guest on the program. There are one or two other guests who will appear on the program you don't want to miss. Connecting the Dots on DBS this morning. Ivona joins up with Nigel to bring you the very best on the radio today at 9 o'clock. Don't leave DBS at all throughout the day as we program with you in mind until 11 o'clock plus this evening. Coming up soon on DBS, the insert of the package. Joseph Fadul now has the ideas. He will bring you what he thinks would be the most impactful item on our morning news. He will bring that to you in the insert of the package next on DBS Radio.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Here's a quick tip from MBD.
A quick tip from the National Bank of Dominica Limited. Scammers may send fake emails or texts. Remember, NBD will never ask you to reset your more banking password or share your card PIN, CVV, or other sensitive information this way. Stay alert. Stay secure. When in doubt, contact NBD, your partner, your bank.
Let's bring you this morning's edition of the Insert of the Package. This morning's edition of the Insert of the Package is brought to you compliments of the good folks at A&A Low Price Center.
A&A Low Price Center in the village of Calabishi offers the best prices for the freshest products ever. One-stop convenient shopping at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi. For your foods, your everyday needs, snacks, liquor, dry goods, and more. Just about everything located in the flat of Calabishi, directly in the center of the village. Come to A&A Low Price Center on the highway in Calabishi. A&A Low Price Center is family owned and operated. It is fully computerized, VAT compliant, low tow, credit card and top-up capabilities. Stop at A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi today or call 445-7655. Drop us an email at aanalowprice@gmail.com. A&A Low Price Center in Calabishi open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit us today. Just walk in and be happy you did.
This morning's insert of the package will come from the morning news, where the East Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches observes the 75th anniversary of Pathfinders with a march in the streets of Roseau later today. The march begins at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Roseau and ends in Tarish Pit from 3:30. Youth Director of the Eastern Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventist Churches, comprising of Dominica and Barbados, is Pastor Sean Shepherd.
See, Pathfinders are a worldwide youth organization of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They are dedicated to helping boys and girls ages 10 to 15 grow physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. Through camping, community service, honors, and leadership training, Pathfinders learn practical skills while deepening their faith in God. Alongside them are the adventurers, our younger children, and the master guides who serve as mentors and leaders. This year, we celebrate 75 years of pathfinding under the inspiring theme, Pathfinders on Purpose. It's a milestone honoring generations of young people and leaders who have marched, served, and witnessed for Christ under the Pathfinder banner. Here in Dominica, the excitement continues this afternoon with a colorful march through the streets of Roseau, leading to Tarish Pit, where the day will climax in a grand open-air rally. Look out for the colors, the energy, the discipline, and the joy as master guides, pathfinders, and adventurers come together in one powerful display of faith and service. 75 years strong and still marching forward with Christ on purpose, with purpose for God's purpose. And don't forget to look out for us at the National Youth Rally on the 30th